Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to today's episode of His Attitude Impact Show. Today we have a serious issue at hand, but today I won't be doing this alone. Today I'm with Becky. Becky, say hi.
Hi everyone.
Okay, and also at my right hand side I have Sarah.
Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you have a pleasant week. It's another exciting episode of Heartitude, and we will be talking about a very realistic situation that I hope it doesn't happen to you. It can't even happen to you because you'll be learning a lot today from today's episode. Exactly. So stay here and make sure you watch the entire episode.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for us to unveil the issue today. And well, I think Sarah, I think you should do the reading.
Of course. Just gradually, slowly, digging deep. So this is how it goes. It says, I started Nema's culture in a small shop in Surulere, Lagos. Driven by my passion for fashion, the early days were tough. I struggled to make ends meet, working tirelessly to build my brand. Now, the growth was slow, and I often even wondered if I would ever break through. Then I met Emmanuel, a charismatic and successful businessman.
Wow.
He strolled into my shop one day. He was impressed by my designs and saw potential in my business, and so he invested heavily. He gave me capital, I expanded, and he gave me so much support. My brand even flourished quickly. My designs were sought after across Lagos. Our professional relationship became personal, and when Emmanuel proposed, I accepted, blinded by love and gratitude. But it didn't last. His infidelity and lack of commitment led to a painful breakup. Despite the heartbreak, the Nemos culture continued to thrive. But now, Emmanuel is demanding a share of my business, claiming his investment entitles him to a percentage of my profits. He's well connected, and I know refusing him could lead to a legal battle or worse. The questions are, was I wrong to mix business with personal relationships? Should I have protected myself better? Does Emmanuel have any legal or moral rights to my success? If I refuse, will I be risking everything I have built? Most importantly, how do I even ensure that my business remains mine alone? So that's our story for today, and let's begin to dissect.
Alright, so really, let me even just start like this. Reading through the story, I was actually following up on my phone device, and I noticed some things about the issue. And I'm a guy, and let me speak from the perspective of a guy. So one of the things I do as my own personal policy, I think is actually very dicey for somebody to invest heavily in somebody you are not yet legally married to.
Okay, from my point of view, the relationship was not well defined because the guy wanted something else, the lady wanted something else as well, but they allowed their emotion over. Something like that happens to me years ago.
Interesting.
Whereby a guy gave me a phone. The guy just gave me the phone. Becky, he gave me the phone.
A BlackBerry phone.
What do you mean?
I
said so many years ago.
And that's BlackBerry.
It's not even BlackBerry. It's all this Nokia, that common blue Nokia. Okay. So the guy gave me the phone. I was like, wow, thank you. I'm not using phone. So the guy was expecting to actually date me, and then I was expecting to get the phone. And like, big girl in town, I'm using phone. And the guy started calling. I was not responding, not picking the call. Before I knew what was happening, the guy has to go and like wait for me somewhere that today I must see this girl and collect my phone back. You understand? So when I saw the guy, I just said, okay, I'm going to give you the phone back. All I just wanted is give me the SIM. Because he bought both the phone and the SIM.
Okay.
I was like, just get the phone, let me have this. But the guy said, no, I'm collecting both. So in this lady's case is that she has started herself. She has something running for herself.
Okay.
But the guy came in the name that you have a potential, which that is what every guy looks for in a good relationship. But because their relationship was not well defined, you are not coming to me because you want to partner with me, because you want to help me. You just see what I'm doing, you fell in love with what I'm doing, and you think along the way love love in quotes, but both of them, they were not able to manage their emotions. So if I were to be the girl, number one, there was no written agreements between the two of us.
True.
So if you say you want your own share of the profits, okay, I can refund you back the money you gave to me to start the business with, and that ends it all.
So, do you share the same view?
Well, yeah, I do, but this is how it works for me. One thing that usually happens when you work closely with people, when you have a tight, healthy relationship, especially the sex, you communicate with them regularly. At some point, you may begin to have feelings. It happens a lot, and thank God for maturity. Thank God for where we are. There's some of these things we know already. So I may not have fallen into that trap. And I, as a person, I love defined relationship. I would have asked you from the onset. Okay, so when we start dating now, how are we going to split bills? You invested in this business. I'm sure he had already invested
before. Yeah,
so now the question, the thing is, what were the returns? What was the ROI, the return on investments before they started dating?
Yeah.
If she can keep up with that after the breakup, then there's no problem. They started dating. I think the thing is, she mixed business with pleasure on the long run. Maybe after they started dating, she assumed, oh, it's my man, and I shouldn't be giving him anything, and all the profits is mine.
And the man
shouldn't
was
be asking me. You shouldn't be asking me for any profit. I wouldn't think that was what happened, and that's why this is an issue. Because if he was still getting ROI from the business, then there wouldn't be this conversation.
But the issue concerning this, you see, there's a legal part of it for me and the moral part of it. I've seen, if you see her writer in a story that she sent me, she was saying something around my business. I want the business to be my own alone. So you will see the undertone of greediness.
I will not agree to greediness or selfishness.
Yeah.
Before you came into my life, this business has always been mine.
It's only doesn't.
What about his investment?
Do you know
I'm going to go to.
Are you sure this is not gender loyalty?
No.
Do you know how many good tailors are in different parts of
See, everybody needs a platform in life to flourish.
Okay.
I have said this. When you came into my life, you saw what I was doing. You're so much interested in it. You invested in me, all well and good, and you can see that everything I'm doing is flourishing. So later we started dating each other. This is another stage of our life. If you want when you were giving me the money, when you were investing the money, you didn't mention anything that you're going to collect a share or anything.
No, we were just talking about investments. Then we're also talking about ROI.
Yeah.
Invested in our business.
See, let's get something straight.
Please wait. Please be patient.
Okay.
The investment had already started. It was there are two phases to their relationship, or now three phases. First, he was an investor, then he became a man, and now he's an ex. Yeah. So there are three phases to this relationship. Invested in our business. If you're talking about investment, you're automatically talking about ROI. What happened to the ROI when the relationship started? If he's now coming back if he himself is coming back to ask for ROI, or is coming back to ask for a portion or a share in the business, it means something went wrong during the course of the relationship, which is natural. I want to assume that because he became a man, then she assumed, I shouldn't be giving.
Yeah, that's
now. But there are two sides to it. I would not agree to greed because you don't know the other favors that I'm not even talking about sex here. You don't know the other sacrifice, the sacrifices, the compromise that she had given during the course of the relationship. So, in coming to ask for a share in business might be some kind of fraudulent act.
But
sorry, what if during the course of the relationship I had to give you my kidney, although she would have mentioned that? Let's not exaggerate. Okay. Let's not go too far. Okay. But during the course of my relationship, I had to do one or two things for you. I had to, do you know?
Why are you looking at it from that angle? Have you not know there is possibility of the lady also actually still getting some things, but the guy must have done other things for him?
That's what I'm saying. Let's be fair.
So
let's stand in the middle. There should be no gender loyalty. If we are going to be a judge, on this matter, one thing I've noticed on social media and from podcasts like this, people are so quick to side with their gender. But it doesn't work like that. Honestly speaking.
Okay, so for her, actually, if you look at something, because you see, when you want to actually know what really happened, just look at the undertone of something there. You know, there was a particular issue said despite the heartbreak, despite the heartbreak, Mascotto continued to thrive. Right, that means that even after he left, but that means during when he was there, aside the investment that was done before the relationship started, there must have been some investment too. Yeah, it's normal. Some of the guys actually reading, watching, actually must have done that too. So really, for you now, the guy that gave you a phone now, so I have to come back to you.
Okay.
Actually, if I give you a phone, talk to me and talk to me only.
But it doesn't work like that. If you want something from someone, why don't you just ask? What if she was saying did he ask you out?
He didn't ask me out.
He just gave
me a phone.
That's all.
Excuse me. Maybe I was under 20, so it was.
Were you less than 18?
Above 18.
You are
so
okay.
19.
So my 19. Yeah.
If you, I think one thing that you can take out of this podcast today, or even if it's just this clip you're watching at the moment, is if you want something from a lady, just go ahead and say
that is it. You don't buy a lady.
Don't start a relationship with buying gifts. The person might not even find you. The person might appreciate you, but the person might not find you attractive enough to date. And it's not a problem. It's just a matter of preference. Wait, Adura.
Okay.
Let's not have gender loyalty.
I'm not with you.
And Becky too, because you're beginning to say
Becky will not return the money.
Wait,
Becky
no, see. I have said.
Did you return the phone? That's the question.
I did.
You did.
I returned everything. Because the way the guy collected from it was so embarrassing. I just have to like give it to him and let it go. See, what I was trying to say in that story, if there is a written agreement.
Exactly.
I'm going to give it to you.
Exactly.
If there's a written agreement and along the line we started dating, the only thing is that I can like accommodate your infidelity, I can't accommodate, and I even want to point to that aspect because before every marriage, if a marriage is going to last, you're going to know from the relationship, if not 100%, I mean from the courtship, at least 70%. If it's not going to last, you will know. But most of the mistake we ladies make is that, okay, let's see, the guy will change. Assuming as they graduate from being
I'm not your mom, honey. I'm not your mom.
So assuming as they graduate from like being a business partner, like they are doing business together into relationship, and you started noticing that, of course, now some relationships have been seeing interest, and you've been saying that this guy is like is a guy of many ladies. Yes, it's a checkpoint for you that despite the business aspects, can I still go with this? Now let me share another story. When I wanted to marry my husband, when we were dating, we actually met at the same place. So I noticed that
you said at the same place,
in the same workplace.
Okay, we were working together. Okay, I get that.
Before the relationship started, and I've noticed that it's every lady's choice. And my husband plays along. At times we just be going, you just peck a lady. At times if he doesn't peck, they will peck. As people will be saying, Becky, can you deal with it? Can you cope with it? So I called him one day. I said, Mr. Man, come. Let me understand you. If you don't have any ulterior motive, if you're just doing it, that is who you are. You know, only ladies, we are emotional human beings. A lot of them are
all emotional human beings, but women are more very expressive about their
So some of them might have been like, oh, are you just doing your own on a normal. So when I spoke, he said, babe, you have to deal with it.
Becky,
just know the kind of person you are like relating with. If I'm packing this, I say, bros, if you are getting married, you need to like reduce all this thing.
Yeah.
You need to like do. So I've already seen the green light. I've already seen the red light. So it's not left to me if I can still go ahead with it or not. And I went ahead with it, I'm coping with it, I'm dealing with it. My husband
is still like that.
But it's not like that again.
It's been how many years?
My marriage is now 9 years.
God bless you.
Wow.
Very, very good together. So that's what I said concerning that lady's case. She must have seen, but maybe she overlooked it. Maybe she does not want to talk about it, or maybe she thinks because of what the guy invested in her,
No. She said something. She said she broke up with him because of infidelity.
After marriage.
No, they were not yet married.
Okay, they were not yet married.
Yeah, they were not yet married. Because
They were never married.
yeah, you see, one of the things I should let our viewers know. You see,
He said, sorry, she said infidelity and lack of commitment led to a painful breakup.
I don't want to say. Let me say
That's
something. One of the things I think our viewers and everyone listening should know is that number one, a breakup before marriage is very okay.
Yeah.
It's very okay. If there is a reason, if the reason to break up is actually justifiable and genuine. Now, but I don't want to believe. You see, when people actually send in stories or so, there are some things you need to look to. You can't say somebody is not committed to you when that person is pumping money into your life. I don't want to use that word.
You know, I disagree with you.
Really?
Forgive me, but I have
I always believe that your heart follows where your money goes.
No, not first and first.
Yeah.
Not everybody is the same. And no matter what, I was still telling myself, no matter what your GO says, no matter what your mother says, when they say things like, oh, this is how a man is, this is how a woman is, those things don't apply to everybody. Naturally. Yeah. They say what do they say again? They say there's an exception. Sometimes it goes beyond exception. It is not just there are certain things that too many things can apply. Everything cannot apply to everybody. You just said that your money goes to where
your heart follows.
Let me tell you, there are men that enjoy spending money for women. It's just too much. Sometimes it's to massage their ego. Sometimes it's a habit they've picked up. Sometimes they feel it's a definition of masculinity. A man is giving you money, spending. Have you not met men who date ladies? They spend money on them, they spoil them, and then they go ahead to marry someone else. There are men like that.
Yes.
Interesting. What? Wow.
So let me just add this. So she's asking 2 questions. She's saying, let's go back to our story again, please.
So was I on to miss business?
You were very
He was wrong actually.
You were very, very wrong. Very wrong.
You know,
I'm sorry if that sounded too strong, but really, you were wrong. Honestly, you were wrong. So, second question says, should I have protected myself better? Well, if you had seen it coming, you probably have protected yourself. And next question says, does Emmanuel have any legal or moral right to my success? And this is one thing I want us to discuss in depth. So legally, did you guys have an agreement? Did you guys have a written agreement?
That is it.
Well,
that is binded by the laws of the
Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yes. So do you guys have that? If you don't have that, then he doesn't have anything.
But
secondly,
why would she be raising?
Wait. She said any legal or moral rights. Well, morally, he does. This is someone who helped you. And if he says he wants a share, like you said earlier, you probably give him. You may give him the money invested in the business. Since you guys did not have any written agreement, you may choose to let go of certain things. Maybe some equipment that will be useful to him. It could be anything. You morally, yes. If you guys are parting ways, and in order to part ways on a good note, you may just as well give him a very huge amount of money. Yeah, morally, I think
seriously, it's not as if the guy really needed the money, because the guy is
he just wants to pay. I'm sorry. What I'm about to say now, I'm going not to get back. It's very common with this gender to want to get back at you for leaving them for infidelity, and that's a very big topic I'm not going to talk about. When you leave Nigeria men, let me not generalize. When you leave some Nigerian men for cheating, they will come back at you in full force, and I'm like, really? Why? You want to shove him? That's a big topic.
Let me say something. Right? Let me say something. You see, the issue about morality concerning this matter, and the issue about the legality. You know, one of the things I really want to bring out from this point, from this place, is that Yoruba people used to say something. All these they call them, what is it? They will say that if you know that you are not going
to say to Yoruba first, they say
Yoruba will say that, oh, they fail me. Oh, they double that law. Since to fail me, double that.
Okay.
Wait,
let me help you. He says, in this part of the world, when someone is about 2-3 years older than you, you don't just call them by their first name.
Exactly.
You say brother,
brother
Michael, brother Samson, brother Chukwemeka. So the brother depicts some level of respect.
Yeah.
This is for someone who's older than you. So he's now saying, the saying goes, you cannot. Okay, let me just say it this way. So when you now begin to date somebody who is older than you, let's assume you've been calling this person brother Michael, but somehow emotions come into play. You guys fall in love. You will call, usually,
of course,
you will not call the person brother anymore. You call him by first, even if the person is about 15, 16 years older than you. Now, the saying goes, you cannot take brother away from my name. Since
you cannot like
le gba brother lọ́wọ́ mi and then
if talk about Femimo, that if you cannot date me,
if you can't date me anymore,
you talk about that.
so you cannot call me brother anymore.
Return the
if you cannot date me anymore, return my brother back. This is what they usually say when there's a breakup.
Is that possible? I call you by your name, and because
okay, imagine when you were 21, you dated someone who was 35, let's say your elder brother's friend, and now time has passed, everybody has gone their separate ways.
So you now expect me to,
and let's say you lose your grandmother who is about 105, and then he comes because he's your brother's friend, and he's sitting on your elder brother's table. This person is 9 years older than you. Are you gonna go say
you have a point?
Shola? So that's the. So at some point, when time has passed, you return the brother.
Please return the brother. If I return the brother, you return. No, the issue is, see, on basis of morality, the girl also, the lady also has to bring you some level of morality, in the sense that somebody invested in you. Definitely, when he was investing, believe me, before relationship started, there must possibly, because
possibly,
because she didn't actually point it out. There must have been possibly some kind of investment or return on investment actually that the guy must have been getting.
Of course.
Now the issue must have now been like, okay, if I want to be giving you investment, return on investment,
you give back what I've given to you also.
No, that's not even the point. I think what Emmanuel was trying, if I'm Emmanuel, actually my name is also Emmanuel, but it's not my own. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not my Emmanuel. It is not my Emmanuel. Please.
Okay.
So if I am the Emmanuel, and I've been seeing, I actually noticed how the trajectory of the business, I won't be asking for you to pay me off. What I'll be asking for is to be like a shareholder in your business. Or no,
she don dey so for Buhari. She don dey so for Aisha Buhari. She don dey so for calm down.
Maybe it's because the guy even saw it.
It came on the level of business.
The lady is like, maybe she's striving so high. She's doing well.
She's doing
good. The best could have been less the partner, or if the guy
doesn't even make any sense even partners, because if someone they are broken up away. Wait, do you know what it means to break up with someone? Do you know what she said? She said it was a painful breakup. So you want to partner with someone you broke up with painfully.
So on what basis? Okay, so for example now, I had my first girl, like I have been there, my first girl. I've not been to many relationships. We have just been to sincerely. But my first girl, we were it was the same girl I told you about. We were friends, colleagues in university.
So wait,
let me say something. And we break up. When we broke up, what actually happened was that we were from a circle of friends. And we maintained our circle of friends, but we were not friends. We get.
Well, that worked for
it worked. So the issue is that if I start a relationship on the level of business and emotion enters, right? The thing is that okay, emotion has broken down. Let's go back to business. So if Emmanuel is, you get.
For I as a person, when I move on from someone painfully, trust me, I don't have anything to do with you again. Like I literally don't. I don't pray to meet you at the bus stop. I will never cross. It's not because we had a slight disagreement, or we're both childish, or we had genital issue. It was a painful breakup. Infidelity, but I don't want to smell you. I don't want to see you. I don't want to know. I want to cut you off. It is a painful breakup.
You see,
it is a painful breakup.
You are taking it like that. You see, the way most women were taking the issue of this infidelity of a thing, some women can deal with it, some cannot actually deal with it. And on this painful breakup of a thing, I told you the other time I have a lot of experience, but mine is not infidelity. Mine was, we even have a wedding in view. Seriously. We've printed the wedding invitation, my everything was there.
Wait, don't bust it here. Don't bust it. Let's take it here. On another episode, don't let us break down
right.
this canal.
So, and I moved on. When I see the guy, we greet ourselves, life continues. But I was one thing I asked from God then, that God, if I did not wrong this man, give me the grace to get married before him.
And
God did it for me.
Hey,
yes.
Wow.
He was in the church when they were announcing my introduction.
Okay, so
Becky, what you did that time, was this in introduction or your engagement? I said, for you to see how mighty, how colorful it was. That is all I want. I am already justified.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you handle.
Well, we handle things differently. So it was a painful breakup. I don't want to see you. I don't want to know you. I don't want to talk.
Okay, so
actually, when I do wrong, it was you who wronged me. And trust me, I'm older now. I'm not a child. I've lived over 3 decades. And I know that we're not perfect people. Yeah. In as much as I don't think that infidelity is something that should be tolerated. I don't want to be controversial. But there's nobody that cannot cheat. But we should not put ourselves in situations. We should not allow ourselves to be in a situation that allows us to cheat. I don't know.
I get you. Yes. Well, I think what.
And I'll be patient enough with you. I'll give you grace.
But I want to
understand what the problem is.
Cheating as their DNA.
I want to address the issue. So what's the issue? What's the problem? Did you just cheat selfishly? Was there an issue? Is the sex bad? What is the problem? What is the issue actually?
So what
happened? Can we address it?
Can we talk about it? Yeah.
What practical steps can we take? We're not perfect people. I'm not perfect myself. And I can hurt you in several other ways, whether knowingly or unknowingly. But I should be intentional about my relationship. I'm big on healthy relationships. And then I do all that first time, second time. And you expect me to reach out and I don't know you. I don't know you, man.
Say a piece. I think what I would just say is, you see, to solve this mass issue, I think there is need for maybe a third party to come in, maybe a legal advisor or so.
There's no need for it. If there was no written agreement, let's just take it from the moral angle. You can be kind to someone who has been sorry. Except the guy now decides to be difficult.
Sarah, you know what?
I will be nice to you. I will remember that
if you even bring legal, the first question they will ask you, was there written agreement? So if there's where would they want to start the case from?
In other sense, I think we should just advise our audience. Okay. You see, when you want to start a business or want to invest your money, even in your prospect, the lady, maybe a guy or a woman, you can happen both ways.
Yeah.
Please ask for a lawyer. I don't think they charge much.
Yes. You don't think they charge much.
I don't think they charge much.
It depends on the lawyer.
No, actually. So for example now, I know some restaurant I won't be now at my level. Right? So I know
you made it in life.
Hey, I know where I won't be now.
You made it in life.
No, wait. I know where I won't be. You see, even people who don't make come for life still know their level now. Right. You get, I know where I won't be. Right? So you want to and the funny thing is that almost every good lawyer, I'm not talking about the charge and bill, every normal lawyer should actually be able to give legal advice and make a formal contract. No matter, see, from this now, I can't invest in anybody now because sincerely,
if you have the arts, bros.
Oh my sis,
but don't.
I can't invest in anybody.
Then I'll get something.
No. I don't say no. That's not the point. Like if I'm giving you that kind of money that can make your brand well sought, I don't know. Maybe it's one of these top guys. No, well sought out in Lagos. She said it. So the girl must have been making money. From Sule, she must have been making money. And when for her to say that, okay, I want it to be my own. Yeah, there's a level of money you have, man. There's a level of money you have, but sincerely, Please get a lawyer. I think it's one of the things. And you see, there's also a purpose to need for you to actually define the purpose of relationship. So if you now want to move from just business to like please contract it. See, business does not have.
I think we all know this thing. Don't mix business with pleasure.
That's it. So when you're going into like a relationship, going into business as a lady, use your brain.
Yes. Use the
as in like don't let your emotion get the best of you. That is it. Don't let it. Even married couples are having these issues. Yes, they will say if you have a proxy, my own is different from our own. It was a lawyer friend that told me. He said, Becky, if you guys are buying property, my own is different from our own. Because everything may happen tomorrow. Yeah. So you may still have something collectively. Fine, you may still have something for the family. That this is the same cost for the family.
Yeah.
But individually, for you to be like, nobody prays for it. But life happens. And when it happens, most times ladies are the receiving end. Thank God that this girl. Thank God that this lady in question was like.
So I think we'll see in one of these shows we'll still talk about joint accounts. Understand joint account issue because really joint property. Yeah, but one thing I would just say I think we should actually just take from this point is that if you are going for any business venture you want to, maybe the lady is going to be a prospect or so, please. Get a lawyer. Please get a lawyer. Get a lawyer. You're even wearing white and black. So.
You look like one.
Lawyers don't wear polka dots. Okay, so we'll also be showing this to our comment section. What do you think if you're a lawyer from a legal perspective? What do you think the lady could have done better? Okay, so we're throwing this in the comment section again. We're asking, how do you think Norma could have done this better? If you are a legal practitioner, what do you think she could have done? Or someone may be in this situation at this time. This moment, you're falling in love with the person who has invested in your business. How do you think they can protect themselves if things do not go the way they plan? So just drop your comments in the comment section, and we will be glad to have you there.
Yeah, thank you so much, lady. And if you're actually still planning to invest in any lady, please. You can reconsider, think again, and maybe
you can invest in a lady. Just let if you want to data. Whatever you give from the bottom of your heart. Don't make your romantic partner your business partner. That's my own 2 cents.
So now, if your business partner will now become your romantic partner, make a contract. Get a lawyer. Sign a contract.
So anyways, these are our own takes, and we're not perfect people. We don't know everything.
Yeah.
If you have anything to share, please drop it in the comment section. We'll be glad to have you there.
Yeah. And today we'll be closing the curtain on this program today.
Alright, thank you very much everyone. Hope you've been able to gain 1 or 2 things from everything we've discussed today. Please work with the one that suits you, but please most importantly separate pleasure from business. It's very important. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, see you next time.